Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the No Quest Hardcore Iron Man. In the last episode we hit 1100 total and I was thieving for gold to keep on training Slayer. We hit 2 mil GP from pickpocketing, so that is a good chunk of change to buy some runes and go back to slaying. And in downtime I also fished a bunch of raw fish. This is not even close to 99 cooking, but it's about quarter of the way there, so that was a pretty good use of my downtime. So in this episode you can expect further Slayer training, and I need a new activity to AFK in my downtime. Since there is a much better way to train cooking down the line, so I don't really want to waste any more time fishing in Fishing Guild. So I think the next best thing to AFK will be ranged. I would actually prefer to AFK mining, but to do that efficiently I need about 20,000 nature runes to get to the level I want. So I think ranged it is. But first let's go to Varrock and buy some more runes. I think this should be enough to get us started. 60 magic, 40 Slayer. I finished that Hellhound's task and then I got a Black Demon task, which was mage based as well. Also, killing one Black Demon takes about 3 minutes, so it's like a 10-hour task. And then I got Trolls, which was thankfully melee based and pretty quick. And then I got Black Demons again, and I absolutely ran out of all the runes I could use, so I had to go and buy more. But if this keeps up, I'm gonna hemorrhage money quicker than I can get it back. So I need to be able to kill them with something else that fire strikes, but I run the numbers and nothing actually works out, so I'm gonna have to mage them until a solution finally pops up. At least one upside of Black Demons is I get 0.4 prayer XP to Slayer XP at them, while Hellhounds are just irredeemable. And here's 50 Slayer. And it's Monday morning and I'm a little scared to train Slayer at work, so instead it's time to range some sand crabs. This is the setup I'm gonna use. Turns out Shazen armor is the best range armor I have access to for now. And yeah, this should suffice. They have just one defense. One issue with ranging for me, for my account build, is that I don't have any Ava's device until I hit 99 range, and then I can use ranging cape as an Ava's device. So I will have to either manually pick up all of my arrows or just shoot them once and never again. This will be level 52 Slayer, which unlocks jellies, and jellies drop mithril boots, which will be my best in slot boots until 80 Slayer when I can kill a Necriel. I'm not gonna go camp jellies right now, especially since Neve doesn't assign them. And talking about Neve, I was only doing tasks at Neve because I was sure that Konar requires 100 combat, but Konar actually requires 75, I just checked at Wiki. So we will be switching to Konar as soon as I finish this task, and she actually can assign jellies, so it all works out perfectly. To do Konar efficiently we need a good way to getting to her, so I'm gonna be using Battlefront Teleport for that. It's a spell in Arceuus spellbook, and since I don't want to be on Arceuus spellbook all the time, I will be building a portal in my POH, which requires 50 construction, so I bought 1000 oak planks and we're gonna get to a building to get 50. And also we will need to max our Arceuus Favour, but that doesn't sound too hard. And here's the 50 construction. The Arceuus Favour is pretty straightforward. You have to go to the Great Library and bring books to people. The only issue is one of those books starts a mini quest. The book called A Soul's Journey starts the Bury Your Soul mini quest, and I think it's as soon as you obtain it. The wiki states that if you read it, the mini quest will start, but I think I watched Young Sauce and he got his mini quest started as soon as he picked up the book. So to solve that, I have my maxed UIM here, and I will be doing the library first on the UIM to know the layout. So that, if possible, we will not pick up the book by accident. The major problem is that if we get asked to bring the Bury Your Soul book before we hit 20%, there is no other way at all of gaining Arceuus Favour, and then we will have to risk it. If it comes to the worst, I will not be progressing the mini quest any further. We will just obtain the book and deliver it. I will not read it. I will not complete the mini quest, obviously. But let's hope that in the 8 books we have to get 25%, this will not happen. While I'm here, I will also snag the Transportation Incantations book. This is a pretty important one, because after we read it, we should know the incantation to teleport to Kourend spell. We only need 1 magic level for that, but this will be extremely useful. And we managed to hit 20% favor without starting any mini quests, so technically if we get assigned the book now, we can just collect dark manuscripts until 100%. And yep, just a couple of books later, at 27.5%, we get asked to bring the Journey of Souls. I don't think we can swap this at any point, so Library is essentially a dead content to us now, and I'll have to hit, I think it's 60% for reanimating heads by just collecting dark manuscripts, but that, as I said, shouldn't be much of an issue, just a little bit of a hassle. I quickly rechecked the wiki, and there is one more method we can do now after 25%, and that's mining the dense blocks, but that requires 38 mining, so I think I'll just stick with the manuscripts. Got enough manuscripts to turn them in at Horphis, and we are at 62.5%. Also rechecked the wiki, and turns out to use the spellbook you don't need 100% favor but just 60, so we will be finishing this off somewhere in the future using up Ensouled Heads, and for now I am ready to build the portal. I'm gonna use those books on magic because I am 1 rune crafting. I know this hurts many of you, me included, but you can't bank them, so magic it is. I'm not gonna use them for 4 XP each. Portal chamber, portal frame, and teleportation focus built, so it's time to direct the portal. We're gonna build it to Battlefront. So that's our way to get to Konar. I'll also build the rest of the portals, why not? I'm sure they will have a use later on. And let's get our first Slayer task. Please be jealous, please be jealous, please be jealous. Anku in the Stronghold Slayer dungeon. That's fine by me too. And here is our first Brimstone key. Now, you might know that I like to stack those things. In fact, I did a 1000 Brimstone keys opening on my UIM. But on this account, sadly, I do not plan to stack it up as high. Main reason is they are more useful the earlier you get them. Case in point, if I get a 100k, let's say, from a key now, that could save me an hour by just using better runes at Black Demons. But if I get the same 100k later on, when I'm nearing 99 Slayer, if I decide to stack 1000, then that's not that big of a help. Back at work, and that means 50 range. Which didn't pop up, but we just got it. Back to Slayer, and we got trolls south of Mount Quidamortem, and the only easy way to get there for me would be the minecart system, which would require 100% lava kench, which I can't get quite yet because I have low mining 15 and you need at least 42. So I'm gonna train my mining to 42, and I think why not just max all of the favors before finishing up this video. First, for Lava Kench, I cannot really do the Forsaken Tower quest, and I don't have smithing levels required to make supply armor, so I decided to just make dynamite all the way. So I started with cutting the juniper trees and making charcoal with them. Charcoal burns for 16 hours, so while waiting that time I mined enough sulfur to create dynamite for 75%. And later on we will be maxing it out by setting up the minecart network. Since I was still waiting, I decided to move on to Piscarilius. People generally use their 20% favor skip from Client of Kourend on this house, but since I can't do that, I started by repairing cranes, and even though that was extremely slow, I welcomed how AFK they were after clicking on that damn sulfur. And after 15% of doing that, I moved on to hauling fish, which I did to 30%, and then I wanted to move on to hunting sandworms to digging up sandworms, but you require 15 hunter to do that. And since I'm one hunter and the low level hunter is probably the worst thing in the game, I decided to get some free XP by completing the only diary I actually can, which is Karamja Easy. And here's Karamja Easy Diary completed. This is, as I said, the only one that I can complete. This is the only diary that doesn't require any quests at all, and it was also the first diary created, so maybe that's why. Anyways, we are rewarded with an XP lamp that I will be using on Hunter. This XP lamp doesn't have any level requirements, so we get a clean 1000 XP, and that boosts us to level 9. As I mentioned before, I don't want to do the museum quiz, so this is a good alternative. And we also get Karamja Gloves 1. They give +1 to every stat, but Shazen Gloves 5 are better because they give +3 to strength and higher range bonuses. These are, however, for now, technically my best in slot magic gloves, so I guess happy to get an upgrade. But the real power in them is the price cuts. You get 13% cheaper prices when wearing them and buying anything on Karamja, and that includes Tokul stores. So we will definitely be taking advantage of that when buying onyxes or stuff like that. The diary boosting us up to level 9 hunter is perfect because that's the level required to catch those copper long tiles. At this level I can only use one bird snare, so I'm gonna lay it down. And now we wait. Yeah, you can fail too. After 6 minutes of being here, here's our first bird. 61 XP. Okay, about an hour, but here is level 15 hunter. We can go back to Piscarilius. Digging the sandworms made Piscarilius Favour very fast, so while I'm still waiting for the charcoal, I will be employing the help of my UIM once again, and we'll just max this Arceuus Favour now with the Dark Manuscripts. The charcoal just finished, so we can start making those dynamites, but this step actually still does not provide any favor. After you create those dynamite pots, you also have to add balls of wool to them, and only that step will give favor 0.1 per dynamite. And well, we don't have to turn this in anywhere, just creating it gives favor, so maybe this will be useful in the future for Blast Mine. And so I made all of the dynamite and distributed all of the scrolls. This is the last one, and after giving it, we are now at 100% Lovakensh favor and also at all maxed favors, so I will be wrapping up this video now. We also finished up south of the Mount Quidamortem, where we have our Slayer task right over here, so I will be commencing that. But for you, I hope you had a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Let's have a quick scroll through the quest list, and yeah, once again, have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.